All right, positive energy all the time. Here we go. Okay, rep your city, rep your city. Everybody on Facebook, I'm representing Chicago. Everybody on Twitch, everybody on Kick, and everybody on YouTube. I am representing Chicago, Illinois, home of Barack and Michelle Obama. Okay. It's a dirty game, but somebody got to play it. So here we go. I'm going to jump out here by myself, kind of, sort of. But I'm going to go through a long layout. Be patient, get comfortable. I'm going to break this all the way down for people to understand and overstand what I'm talking about. This is going to be one for the ages. If you have questions, I might not be able to answer your questions until I unpack everything. Okay, so be patient. Uh, this is not really a total freestyle. When I got my freestyle, sometimes I can go off the road and come back. But this one, in order for me to concentrate and break down and make my point, I'm going to have to stay on track. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to stop and answer questions and lose my train of thought. This is very important. This is historical. I want to break this down all the way down. Okay, I'm going to break down Barack Obama and how Barack Obama was a win for my generation and our elders. Okay, 1,000,000,000% a win. 1,000,000,000% a win. So says me. Other people say what they say. I say what I say. And everybody says what they say. I'm going to stand on this because we got a lot of people flim-flamming around. And we're going to get to the nitty-gritty. Come on in. We got Oakland in the building. We got London in the house. Salute, salute. We got Dallas in the house. We got the NOLA in the building, okay? So this is a great conversation. It's a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it. I'm going to break it down. A lot of people are afraid to speak up for President-elect Barack Obama, ex-president. People are scared to speak up for him. Well, not Pharaoh, okay? And if they have enough clout and they're ranked high enough, I will come on anybody's show and shut them down on this. And when I say anybody, that's with a capital N-E. Unless it's somebody I like. If it's somebody I like, I won't do it. Okay? I got rules. There's rules to the war. So if it's somebody and they're younger than me and I got a lot of respect for them, I'm not gonna do them. Okay? if I don't really, if I don't know them like that, I'll do them dirty. But if it's somebody I look up to or somebody that's doing good work, I won't discuss this because, that's bad business. You know what I'm saying? But if I don't really got no special place for you and hold you in some high regards. And your platform is whatever it is, and you let me talk. One reason I haven't been bringing people into my lives, I've done that a few times. Brothers was all out of whack, all disrespectful. You know, I said I'm not going to be doing these discussions because some of these dudes they're not really built like that. They youngins, they're not from the soil, from the real tradition of knowledge. So I can't do it. But for this one, this is going to be a classic. I'm going to break it down. I'm going to break down the whole glory of Barack Obama and Michelle Obama. I'm going to break it down, right? Especially to the younger generation, because that's where the problem is. The problem is the younger generation. That's where the problem is. We're going to get into that, you know, because depending on when you're born is depending on how you look at things. Okay? So we're going to break that all the way down. Okay? Once again, I'm going to be breaking down why Barack Obama was a win for my generation and our elders. 100% a win. No ifs, ands, and buts about that. This will also help some of you younger people that won't necessarily get this information. This information is not necessarily readily available. So, I got it to paint the picture. I got to go back in history, okay? Like I say, this is going to be a classic. This is going to be one you might want to show your children and your relatives. So let's go back in my history. On my mother's side, this is my mother's great grandmother. She lived in Uniontown, Alabama, which is out in the country, nothing but cornfields and things like that. This is my mother's grandmother. She was born in 1876. She lived till 1993. I used to be going to Alabama through the 60s and the 70s. So I often hung out at her house. My grandfather lived here and she lived there, right up the road on the same side. All farmland, okay? Out in the middle of the country, we call it. Corn, things like that, growing cows. If you walk on the roads, cows, the nearest town was Uniontown. I'm not sure how far it was because I was just a kid. I was just a baby. So this gives you some history of my family, us going to Alabama. She lived to be 117. Or 27. Let me see, 86, 96, 2006. Let me see. Wait a minute. 76, 86, 96, 1906, 16, 26, 36, 46, 56, 66, 76, 86, 96. Yeah, 27 years. 127 years, I think. Let me see. If I'm not mistaken. $117, like I thought. Yeah, 117. So she lived 117 years, and we used to go down there all the time. Now, that's on my mother's side. So that's my grandfather, my mother's father's mother. So my grandfather's mother on my mother's side. This is my father's father. I'm estimating he was born somewhere around the 1900s. I'm going to dig in and contact somebody there and find out exactly. But he's around the 1900s because my daddy was older than my mother. My daddy was, when they got married, my daddy was 31, my mother was 35. But my daddy was the baby. So because my daddy was the baby, that makes his father kind of old, right? So his father would be really close to my mother's grandmother. His father would be much older than my mother's father because by the time he had my dad was the youngest of 13. So here goes my father right here, the little one in the front. He was the youngest of 13. He was born in 1931. And this is my father's family here. He's the littlest one. The one next to him, that's obviously, I'm sure, my Uncle Oscar. They both came to Chicago. You can see why. Look, they got them dressed the same. And you got my Uncle Sidney, my Uncle Stanley. I don't know which one is which, but I'll find out. My father ended up going to the military. That's him in the middle. And I imagine he met my mother when he got back. This is all but 3 of my father's relatives. He's the one at the top in the middle, and he's the baby. So this is a history going back with just my father and mother to the 1930s. So right there, okay, with my parents being born in the 1930s and coming up before the Great Migration, right? To see a black president, for them, if you're younger than me, you won't be able to comprehend the importance. I was born in 1958. If you born in the 70s or something like that, of course, you cannot comprehend the election of Barack Obama. That is over your head. That is not a win for you because you hadn't been here long enough for it to be so significant. I'm 68. If you're 58 or lower, it would not have been that significant for you as it would have been for me because you didn't have any skin in the game. You hadn't been waiting that long. You come from a different generation with a little bit less respect for history also. But you would not, there's no way the election of Barack Obama, if you're born in the 70s and the 80s, there's no way you can relate like my father and mother or my grandmother, you can't relate. You probably would blow it off. You haven't seen anything. What you've seen, most of the people that don't like Barack Obama don't even really understand the civil rights movement. They was too little for that too. So it's hard to have respect and comprehension for something that you didn't actually live through. You can't read something you grow through. You can't read experiences. You have to experience experiences. And so you see a lot of these young people, they off with the mouth about what's important and what's not, but they don't have no skin in the game. That's where if you're younger, you can't talk to me. Because what's going to be important to me, you don't understand. You won't understand. You won't understand. I caught the tail end of the civil rights movement, but I caught enough of it to have an understanding because I was going to Alabama in the early 60s. And if you wasn't going to Mississippi and Alabama in the 60s, there's a lot you just have not experienced. A lot. There's a lot you have not experienced. And there's a lot that you take for granted. Now, everybody's been through the struggle, but the struggle goes like this. So when you come up and you outside in the 80s or 90s, you're going through a struggle too, but you're going through this struggle. You're not going through this struggle. You're going through this struggle. And if you think this struggle was anything like this struggle, you've lost your mind. You don't have a clue. And so me and my sister, I'm born in 58, she's born in 59. So we don't have a full understanding of what our parents went through. But when your mama tell you a story, you can feel the pain. And my mother tell me stories about how she used to have to hold her, my uncle, he was younger, on the bus, and she was skinny, and they was little kids, and she had to hold on with one hand, and she had to hold him tight and all their books, because if he bump into a white man, that might beat him, that might unalive him. This is stories my mother telling me in 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade, that if you're born in the 70s, your mama couldn't tell you those stories. Yeah, your mama couldn't tell you. Your mama couldn't tell you those stories. Your mama wasn't there. Neither was your daddy. These are just facts. So now when you don't have to go through the actual situation, you don't know what's a reward and what's not. How would you know if Barack Obama was a reward? What year you was born? Ask for anybody out there. Send it to everybody. Tell them Pharaoh said, give me the year they was born, and how would they know if it's a win or not? I think that's a fair question. How would you know what a win is? You was a baby. You wasn't here for the ultimate losses. So what you got to compare it to? Nothing. How long you been waiting for that to happen? You wasn't. Not like them. You wasn't waiting for that like them. No, you wasn't. And so my parents and that generation, they super excited, but I got you young, you shooting down their excitement. You're shooting down their exuberation for what they knew was an accomplishment. But you young. So you playing it like it's not an accomplishment, but how would you know you wasn't here? Because if you born in the 70s, 80s, you don't even know nothing about what I'm dealing with. You don't know nothing. You don't know nothing like that. You don't even know my experiences born in the late 50s. You don't even know that. You don't even got that on your chest. So I'm trying to figure out what you got based on to make any decisions. But we're going to get to that. So this is my father. This me right there. As you can see, this the 60s. We don't even have our house yet. My sister look about 2 going on 3. I look, I know my sister got to be, she got to be just 2. I'm probably 3. Because when we moved in our house, I was 4 going on 5, and we still in the apartment. We ain't moved yet. So I'm 3, she 2. So this is 1961. So now if you don't have respect for Barack Obama, my first question is what you know about 1961? Oh, nothing. All right then. So you wouldn't know an accomplishment if it slapped you. Because what? It's not no accomplishment to you because we already baked half of the cake for you. So we baked the cake for you. Now here you come with already baked cake. You can get on the bus. You can do all this. So yeah, you're going to play everything down, right? Oh, that ain't no big deal. He the president. Not to you. You's a baby. Yeah, you's a baby. Not to you. You's a little boy. You's a little girl. But to my grandmother, what did it mean? What did it mean to my grandfather? What did it mean to my mom and my daddy, my uncles, my great uncles? What did Barack Obama winning that election mean to my elders? What did it mean to them to see him and Michelle? What did it mean to them? Can you humble yourself enough to put yourself in their shoes? Because that was a win for them. And so when I see you younger talking against it, it wasn't even no win for you. That wasn't no win for you. And that's for anybody that wasn't born by 1962. If you wasn't born by 1962, Barack Obama was not a win for you. You's a baby, especially if you're born in the 70s and the 80s. That wasn't no win for you. That was a win for your grandparents and great grandparents who you disrespecting by saying they shouldn't have been happy for the win. But how much cotton you picked? When did you have to get off the sidewalk because you was black? When did you have to go in the back of the store because you was black? We're going to get to all of that. Like I said, nobody wants this smoke. If you're an ally, I ain't gonna give you this work. But just remember something, this big pharaoh, this the top. I don't care who you is. This the top. Because in the world, you gotta state your name, rank, and serial number. And you can only talk so much if you wasn't here. You can't read emotions. You can't read experiences. You can't read it. So where you getting your information from? You wasn't here. So that's me. I'm probably about 5 or 6. It's my mother and my sister. We could just moved in the house. You can see the basement is not done. There's no wood paneling or nothing. So we had just moved in. You could tell because the basement was just like when the house was built. My daddy hadn't put the bar down there. All those walls were covered with wood and everything. So we had just moved in. We probably hadn't been there but maybe 2 years. Right? So now here I go. And this got to be around, I got out of high school at 76. This got to be around 1977. This got to be like 1977. So I'm like 19 on this picture right here. This looked like around the same time of the next year, my mother and dad went out to an event. I probably was 20, but I don't know. I can't really pick their ages. So what has all this got to do with Barack Obama? I'm going to tell you what. So, the next year after that picture, I turned 20 in 1978. I started growing my dreadlocks. And by 19, like 81, I'm in Los Angeles, California. This gonna show you why I was really into Barack Obama. This is the beginning of it, all right? So you say, well, dang, bro, why are you really into Barack Obama? All right. So it's 19, like 81, 82. I'm in Compton and I'm in LA, right? I'm a young black man born in Chicago in 1958. The mayor was Mayor Daley, right? So now you got to think about this. So I'm in LA, right? So who's the mayor? When I hit LA, a young revolutionary Rasta man, got my dreads growing. It's like 1982. I'm in LA, and they got a black mayor. Now, that was a big deal. If you look, listen to the history I gave you, right? And my parents from Alabama, and then the Great Migration, and they come up to Chicago. Got a white mayor, Mayor Daley, Prejudice is still there. MLK get unalive. The Kennedys get unalive. I'm only 24 years old, right? It's like 1981. I might be 21, right? Now about 23, right? Because 78, 79, 80, 81. So I'm like 23. I get to LA and bro is the mayor. Now I'm militant, so I'm super black, right? So back in those days, this is 1981, 82, black was black, period. So a black mayor was a win. It ain't like now where you can blow it off and take it for granted. No. So we in LA and they got a black mayor. And he doing a good job. LA was nice in the 80s under Tom Bradley. Make no mistake. It was beautiful. We was selling incense. We was getting money. We making $500 a day, $600 a day selling incense, $1 a pack, and body oils. My queen busting 200 easy, and me and my boy getting 120, 150, depending on the day. So we easily could get 3. She get 250. We make it somewhere between 5 and 550, 6 days a week, because we work Monday through Saturday. But a lot of times just Monday through Friday, because we made a lot of our money from people going to work. We would go down there and get there right before lunch. We'll get there like 11:45, set up on 7th Broadway. My queen go back there like on 5th, no, like on one of the streets back further from Broadway where the business area was at, like tall bank buildings or whatever. Her and her daughter, because she had dreadlocks, so she didn't go to school. We was radicals. We didn't go to no European school. You know, the queen got the dreadlocks. The baby got her head wrapped up with the dreads. They selling 200, 250 packs. And me and my boy, we both up around Broadway, spread a little ways from each other. We doing a good 150 packs a piece. So every day we working in 500. Now this is in the 80s when rent ain't nothing. But my point is they got a black mayor. That's how I got into black politics being a win. And LA was popping. Black people was popping. Anybody later came with the Mexican invasion. They didn't see that LA. Maybe if they was a kid, they might have, but they didn't. If you was younger, you didn't see the most popping LA. Because by the time you get to 86, 87, the Mexicans had invaded. Place started going down. But early 80s, late 70s, early 80s, they had a black mayor. Now we kids almost. We only 22, 23. We from Chicago. This a black mayor? Hey, how we should have felt. Our parents from Alabama. We don't know no old history, because back then you got to go to the library, and if you don't know what to look up, you don't know nothing. Ain't no YouTube or nothing. So we don't know nothing about all the black mayors from the past. In our life, this is the first black mayor. In our life. And he was cool too. The city was nice. He had the city rocking and rolling. At the highlight of LA, a black man was the mayor. Anybody tell you that. The highlight of LA was when he was in office in the early 80s before the Mexicans came. He was the mayor from 1973 to 1993, the longest, right, serving mayor in LA history, maybe in the country. 20 years, the mayor. So this is where, now we revolutionaries, right? We revolutionaries. You understand? So when people be looking at that and trying to play that like that's some sellout stuff, you a buster. You don't know what you talking about. You wasn't outside. You ain't no revolutionary like that. At that time, the black revolutionary concept, you supporting blacks, period. Now, you ain't going against no black mayor, never in your life. You're not doing that. So, as a young revolutionary, him being the mayor, you excited because you supporting black people, because black people love them. So if you're a revolutionary and your people like something, you going to like it. It ain't like these weirdos now where they people like something and they go against their people. These weirdos now, when they people like something, they don't be happy to see their people like nothing. They go against their people. They both did 20 years, probably so. Right? So this is me at that time. I'm a revolutionary, so I'm not into politics. But I'm super black. So if you got a black mayor and you super black, what's your vibe gonna be? Yo, am I lying? Am I lying? If you super black like this and you get a black mayor, because we thinking crazy, we kids, we young, we just stopped being teens, so we thinking crazy. We like, man, better not nobody touch him though. You know what I'm saying? We on the security side, right off the top. That's how we looking at it, young revolutionaries. We looking at it like, yeah, better not nobody touch it, man. Black people doing what they do. You know what I'm saying? That's how we looking at it. We don't vote or nothing. We ain't voting. We don't vote. We don't do that. But it's a black man. Black people happy. So yeah. We would have never get out there and disrespect somebody they like these lames do now. When black people was happy for Barack Obama, and then you call yourself pro-black, but you get all on social media trashing somebody that the elders like, that the elders fought for, and you's a fucking baby. You need to shut up. You wasn't even outside when the elders was there. Now, we gonna get to that part. We're going to get to that. But this is a fact. This is what I'm standing on. Okay? This is a fact. All right? Because what happens is you be forgetting the elders. And we're going to get to that. So he the mayor. Right? So we go to Hawaii. Right? We go to Hawaii. So right before I go to Hawaii, right? We in LA, we try to get to Hawaii by before 1984. So right before I get to Hawaii, guess what happened? I'm in LA with a black mayor, right? Oh, I'm hyped up. I turn on the TV. Bam! Chicago get a black mayor, 1983. We going crazy. You see where the mind state is at? We going crazy because we ain't had nothing like that in our lifetime. And these major cities, because they saying Tom Bradley was the first black mayor of a major city. And this was the second black mayor of a major city. Now, I don't know. I got to look into Coleman. Maybe Coleman, too. I got to look into that. My point is, we going crazy. For sure. And at that time, LA was super duper black. That's why Tupac saying LA, we ride, don't rally. He ain't lying. Man, in the late 70s, early 80s, Los Angeles was as revolutionary as you get. I ain't lying. And so we turn around, we see a black man in Chicago. So now we young 20s. You see what I'm getting at? So we geeked. There's not no internet and stuff, so you can't get on there and troll your own black mayor like you could do now. Now, before a brother even get in there, you can start trolling them and dragging them down and dissing them. And then back in those days, if you wasn't going to run yourself, nobody was trying to hear you. See, right now is the time where you could diss a politician but not be a politician, which I ain't really with that part. I think that's fraudulent. Because how much can you say somebody can't do a good job if you ain't willing to do the job? Then let's see your ass go do it. Because if somebody is a mayor or something, or president or something ain't doing a good job, but you ain't running, you ain't doing a good job either. You don't want to let them get in there. Why you didn't stop them? Why you ain't run? Why you ain't doing nothing politically for nothing? So we hit them with the bomb. Now, what has all that got to do with Barack? I'm showing you how, as a shorty, this is how I started cheering for black politicians. It was a big deal. Now, people will say, well, why? Because our mamas and daddies from Alabama, man, and Mississippi, they really from the mud. My daddy couldn't go in the store. My daddy had to go step in the mud, get off the sidewalk and step on the mud of white men walking down. They didn't have sidewalks. They had like it was a wood. Now the sidewalk was made of wood, the walkway. And all the stores is up on wood because, they got mud and horses and wagons and stuff. So the streets ain't necessarily paved like that. When a white man would walk down that walkway, a black person had to step in the mud. So now our parents coming from a messed up situation, right? This is before the Great Migration. They coming from the South right after slavery. They the first babies after slavery. So now when your mama happy to see somebody win and she feel like it's uplifting the race, what kind of loser would go start tearing down their president, their mayors? Because see, this is what a lot of younger dudes don't know. That technically wasn't my mayor. That technically wasn't my boy mayor. That's my grandmama and their mayor and my mama and their reward. You understand? So when you look at Barack Obama and you's a young motherfucker running your mouth, he was the reward for people before you. That ain't even your reward to even speak on that. Now, when you get to Chicago and he running for office, I wanted to vote early. So I went to that field house over there on Garfield, I think, that field house. One of them field houses over there where they voted at, they had early voting. And all the black people that was there, it was black people there 90, 95, 99. This is for Obama. They was rolling in old people. What they'll tell you is he got a lot of early voting. They was rolling people in. As a matter of fact, you stood in the line down there to vote. They had it where the real old people could just cut the line. They just roll them straight up to vote, right? You understand? So they roll them up. They roll you up right where you could vote. You see what I'm saying? So now when they rolling them up to vote, they voting right away. So now I'm just telling you, Barack Obama wasn't for you. Barack Obama was for your grandmama and your mama. What part y'all don't understand? He was not for my generation. That was a reward for your mama and your daddy and your grandmama and granddad. That was their reward. That was not our reward. He was not for this generation. No, he was for the people already struggled. It was a reward for them. It was not a reward for us. And then the ridiculousness of what he should have did, we're going to get to that later because that just show you people don't know no politics. They talk like dude is a king. Like he could just go in there and he could just get something. So who believed that he could get reparations? That means you don't know nothing about politics. But the president can't do nothing. Who told y'all the president could get reparations? You believe that? You believe the president can get reparations? Without the Congress and the Senate. So you believe them white people in there? See, this is what I'm talking about. Okay, Exhibit A. Could he get us reparations? Why none of your scholars don't show you this? In the history of the United States, 168 presidential nominees have been filibustered. 86. He been filibustered 82 times by himself. Where's all these scholars? Why they don't show y'all this? Out of all the presidents, they filibustered them 86 times. They filibustered the one black president 82 times. Almost as much as they filibustered all these presidents. Now, any of your so-called scholars told y'all that? That they blocked dude 82 times? And they only blocked white presidents 86 times? All of them. They blocked all these men 86 times. They blocked this one man 82 times. Have any of your scholars, any of your people complaining about dude, have they ever showed you this? So you tell me something, James. What it looked like he could get done? Be honest. James, what he could get done? By looking at this, what he could get done? What he could get done? See what I'm saying, bro? See how they did you, James? Because somebody should have been told you that, shouldn't they, James? So they got you thinking dude ain't do nothing. But these teachers ain't told y'all that the man got blocked. Yes. All the others combined got blocked 86 times, and him by himself got blocked 82 times. Yes. What you think about that, Zorro? See, the red show how much they've been blocked, and the blue show how much he been blocked. Who told y'all that? Why I'm the first one told y'all that? Why I'm the first, with all the people talking sideways about him, which one of y'all told you that? Who told you that? So they tell you he didn't do nothing. Bro, he got blocked 82 times. Do what? Do what? He got blocked by himself just as much as all the white presidents. Why nobody tell you that? Why all these people was trashing dude? He ain't do nothing. He ain't do nothing. He didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing. Okay, why he didn't do nothing, y'all? Where your scholars at? Tell them come holler at Pharaoh, get this work. Why he ain't do nothing? How you a scholar? You ain't taught the people he been blocked more than almost as much as all the white ones. How you a scholar? How you teaching anything when you ain't tell you got our youth hating on a brother and you ain't even telling them what the man been through? So what I'm saying is, why don't nobody know this? Why is all these smart people constantly trashing dude? Why they never, ever, ever mentioned that he got blocked? That's all I'm saying. So they sending off the youth, got y'all talking about he ain't doing nothing. That's a lie. Doing what? It's a white government. What make you think a black president gonna pass anything? So people like, why he didn't get us reparations? What? This your scholars ain't teach you none. So why he didn't make all them white people? Because he can't get reparations. They gotta vote for it. What part of that y'all don't understand? What part of that y'all understand? So my question is, what were they going to cooperate with him to pass reparations for us? Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. Was this white government when he was in there? Were they going to pass a reparations bill? Because he can't just. It's not a king. Okay, he's not a king. So imagine how misled our youth being taught when they telling you he didn't go get something, when everybody know that you don't go get nothing, the Congress and the Senate got to vote on it. So imagine teaching the youth that he didn't go get nothing, right? Imagine teaching you why he didn't go do this, why he didn't go do that. So now what do the youth know about the politics? Nothing, because they think that you can. They think he a king. Our youth don't even know. No, that's bills got to be passed. So imagine a young black dude saying Obama didn't go get us reparations. They ain't teach our youth nothing. You can't go get nothing. What do you mean go get? Go get what? Even if you white and you a Democrat and the whole House and Senate Republican, you ain't getting nothing. Can a Democrat make a majority House and Senate do something? Put it in the chat. So now they trashing this man and making our young people dumb because they got you thinking that he a king and he could have just walked in there. No, he probably wasn't deaf nothing. The man did a whole bunch of great stuff, but they don't promote what he did. I'm telling y'all, he ain't said F nothing. The man saved the country. The country was broke. The country was broke. The country was broke. There's other things had to be done. There's other things had to be done. He the president of the United States. He ain't the president of black people. Rescuing the American auto industry. When Barack Obama took office, the American auto industry was shedding jobs by the hundreds of thousands. Now, let me ask you something. If the American auto industry would have crashed, would that be good for black people? Put it in the chat, yes or no. If the auto industry would have crashed, would that have hurt us? Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. Would that have hurt us? If the American auto industry would have crashed, would that have been good for us? Put it in the chat. Let me tell you something. Pro-black has always wanted politicians to fail because when politicians do good for you, nobody want to hear that pro-black shit. These are facts. Like, don't nobody really want this real smoke? See, pro-blacks, they pander to failure. So if they can push failure, they can get you to listen to them. If everything's going good, nobody want to hear what they talking about. Am I lying? So this big Pharaoh. Don't nobody want none of this smoke. It's for real. So pro-black always be against government working out because nobody want to listen to them if it work out. They lose followers. Nobody want to listen to them if everything going good. So they need things to be going bad. So they promote this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. They don't want no successful politician to get in there because now everybody going to get good jobs. Everybody going to do what they got to do. And who want to hear that pro-black rhetoric? Nobody want to hear it. Because these the new pro-black. These the bootleg pro-blacks. Let me ask you something. Because these pro-blacks could have came outside with me? No. Nah. No. No. Can the pro-blacks today could have came outside with us? No. You would have came outside talking crazy about Obama, we would have dusted you. Oh, my soul. We would have dusted you off. Yeah. 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 We would have dusted you off. We would have considered you anti-black. Because we're not respecting you if you can't do the job. It's revolutionary soldiers. You can't complain about no job. You got to go get that job there and go do a better job. You can't sit around and don't bring nothing to the table, don't create no jobs, don't create no employment, don't create no housing or nothing like that, and sit on your ass and complain about somebody that's their job to do. No, you can't do that. You can't even talk to me like that because they're going to get disrespectful. Because you're going to have to, you can't just come around me criticizing politicians unless you show me, you're going to have to show me something what you're doing instead. We're not doing that. How many jobs you provide? All right, shut up. Just like the dumb way. What you provide? What you got? How many people you hiring? Can we come to you for jobs? Can we come to you for Social Security? Can we come to you for Medicaid? What we can come to you for? When you get through talking. And that's for everybody. All you fake pro-blacks, stay out of politics and do something. Because I don't even see nobody picking no new. Look, the next election coming up. Who is anybody trying to get for you to vote for? Nobody. They want to wait till the last minute and tell you to sit on the couch. You don't see them active trying to find nobody so we don't got to sit on the couch. Why you ain't trying to find somebody so we ain't got to sit on the couch? That makes sense? It don't make no sense to me. So this is why they don't like Barack Obama. Because don't nobody want to hear that pro-black stuff. Nobody want to hear that if he's doing well. They need politicians to fail. Key actions in detail. The auto bailout. The U.S. Department of the Treasury invested roughly $80 billion through the automotive industry financing program, building upon initial emergency loans authorized under the Bush administration. Restructuring. The Obama administration forced sweeping operational changes, including closing redundant plants, renegotiating labor agreements, and lowering break-even points for GM and Chrysler, right? Now let me ask you something. Before Obama got in there, right? Was anybody buying? Was there such thing as a Hellcat? Was Dodge making that much money? Before Obama got in there, was people buying American cars like this? Put it in the chat. Before Obama got in there, was people buying American cars like that? He saved the auto industry. But see, black people, you got to have somebody else tell you. You don't do your own research. So he saved the auto industry. They act like it didn't happen. Everybody was buying Mitsubishi. They was buying them Japanese cars. They wasn't buying no American, no Ford trucks. None of that. He the one made all that happen. Tell me I'm lying. They was buying all foreign cars. People was buying all foreign cars. They wasn't buying all them Dodge trucks. They wasn't buying them Ford trucks. They was buying Toyota, Mitsubishi. They was buying Benzes, Lexus. They was buying all foreign cars. Foreign cars was everywhere. All of this, Obama made this happen. But he black. He black. So, you know, and they had black people didn't even give him his credit, call themselves no stuff. And they ain't teaching y'all nothing. They supposed to know this. How you got knowledge and you don't know this? That the man bought the stuff back and they swept it under the rug. They swept it under the rug. Straight up. They swept it under the rug. Look, this is what they don't want you to know. Who put him in office? Black voters who were 65 and older when Barack Obama first won the president election in 2008 were born in 1943 or earlier. Born in 1943 and earlier. He was day president. He was not y'all president. He was a president for the black people that suffered all them years that finally got to see a black man be president. When my mama seen him president, man, that was a big deal to me. That was a real big deal. We'll have smoke over that if you said the wrong thing. Because my mom and daddy come from Alabama. They was born in the 30s. My grandmother passed away. It meant everything for my grandmama to see that black man and that black woman in that White House. Anybody that don't understand that, you ain't got no damn knowledge. You don't got no knowledge. And you younger than me. I guarantee you got to be younger than me because you don't know nothing. And this what happened when too many people that ain't the real elders be talking. Let the people that been here talk, and then your turn gonna come. Black folks was trying to make headways. If you black like that, you gonna teach they block the brother. Anybody black that ain't teaching they block the brother is bootleg. And I will tell you to your face. And we could put money up and I could prove to you they blocked them and you better pay me. That's for anybody could get that smoke. Anybody. Not only did they block him, they let that white dude run in there and run up the stairs in the White House. Remember that? Remember they had to do holler, you lie. That was the first one did that for him. There was never no outburst in the Senate and Congress till the black man was there. And then Marjorie Taylor Greene kept doing it. But the first time that happened was when a black man was president. And you got all this smoke for bro. But you ain't got nothing for this lady that pointed in his face like he was a little boy. And I don't see none of these so-called super black dudes ain't said nothing about this lady. Look how she tried to son him. He had to keep his cool through all that. Oh, everybody forgot. Look, look. How many of your people constantly talk against him ever say anything about this? How you talk against him, but you don't see this? You don't see all this hate. You don't see all this mistreatment. You don't. So now you talking about he could have did something? Do it look like he could have did something? Huh? Huh? Does it look like he could have did something? Does it look like he could have did all these wondrous things? Surrounded by Europeans? What fool would say that? What fool would believe he could have did more? If you think he could have did more, you are a damn fool. That's for everybody that think he could have did more is a fool. You a fool. You are a fool. And then you'll turn around and holler, white supremacy, this and that. This ain't white supremacy. So he didn't have to deal with white supremacy, but we got to deal with white supremacy. Now, let me get this straight. So white supremacy be keeping us down, but white supremacy didn't keep him down. Is that the story? Every one of y'all that talked against this man is a goddamn disgrace to your race. Period. To me, you're a goddamn disgrace. To me, you're a disgrace. You're a sucker and a lame. I had some people come over here and try to talk crazy about Michelle. I'm like, listen, boy, that's our homeboy and our homegirl. You understand? And so go back to your city where you're from and talk about them niggas in your city that ain't doing shit. I don't speak on politicians come out of Chicago. Because one thing for sure, Chicago is colder than all you niggas' cities. Yeah, none of y'all cities stand on business like us. Period. Y'all not black as us. Y'all ain't pushing the line like us. Worry about your city where you live at. Talk about them bums in your city, your politicians and stuff. Get off ours. I was talking and I'm like, niggas is phony because Michelle Obama is the first black first lady and she FBA. And they don't acknowledge her none. They want to bring up Obama. I'm going to show you how niggas is phony. When you say Michelle Obama is FBA and you want to bring up Obama, I thought FBA was lineage. Lineage ain't marriage. Lineage ain't marriage. So here goes some FBA goofies that ain't even really standing on FBA like that. Because lineage ain't marriage. Her husband ain't got nothing to do with her being FBA. This one said, if you're going to teach something, teach it then. Don't be jumping out back and forth. She either FBA or she not. Now, all of a sudden, you's a smart-ass FBA. Now you's a dumbass FBA. This her lineage right here. So you don't respect her mama and daddy? Her mama and daddy's FBA. She FBA. You don't respect them because she married Barack? What that got to do with her lineage? You see that baby? You see that baby mama, daddy, and her brother? That baby is FBA. Period. And is a successful foundational Black American. First Black female Black first lady, FBA. The first black first lady is FBA. And what did FBA, what is all these FBA? They don't want to honor her. They don't want to honor her. They don't want to honor her. So now, FBA ain't nothing because she with Barack. Her husband ain't lineage. So what we doing? Is we standing on lineage or not? And then, of course, I'm suspicious because this Chicago, man. Keep our sister out your mouth. Okay? Listen, man. This Chicago. Keep Michelle out your mouth. Keep Michelle out your mouth. Go talk about one of them busters in your city and show me what you got in your city. Because you're not finna tear down what we doing great black things in Chicago. That's a fact. And we gonna honor ours. We honor both of these people right here. Yeah, don't step over here. With no fake hate and fake ideology where you switching and swashing all around. If you're going to stand on FBA, stand on FBA. But if not, if you're on some favoritism, weirdo stuff, and now FBA got something to do with who you marry, then the youth going to see through that. That's phony. But it's another way not to respect your own people. That's all it's about. That's all it's about. Because it ain't no way that no woman come from this to this and don't get more respect from black people, black Americans. It ain't no way black Americans don't respect this woman. This is a foundational black American. But you'll talk about her. Then you'll come in my next live and say, what about the gangbanging? What about the prostitution, Fabro, all that? While you down somebody highly educated, achieved a lot on one side of your mouth, then on the other side of your mouth, you want to ask me about the gangs. You want to ask me about prostitution. You want to ask me about all this. No matter what you say, Barack married. Got 2 children. Excellent role models in the community. Barack used to go out there in Cabrini Green. No, not Cabrini Green, the Altgeld Gardens, and help the older people. And he came to this city and he was outside. And he was outside, and the OGs in politics, they told him, you need to run for office. Alderman Danny Davis and them put him in office. Say, bro, you a natural. They seen how well he could speak. The hood put him in, the streets put him in office. The streets. So you gotta understand, I'm 58, I'm 68. So these clubs and stuff, Danny Davis and them be where I be going. I just don't be running my mouth. But I'm 68, so when I be going to clubs, who be at the clubs I be going to and the events I be going to? The Todd Strogers and them. And they seen dude could speak well, and the politicians in the streets put dude in office. That's a fact. Don't speak on something you don't know nothing about. And they put dude in office and he spoke so well, he was so good, the Democrats got by him and he won. And so young black people could see a black man and a black woman in office. But you're going to go turn around now and get in front of the black youth and stuff, and you're going to disrespect this man, then turn around and tell the youth they need to go to school. But both of these people went to school. But you're going to get out here and disrespect the ones who went to school, then turn around and ask me what I'm going to do about the gangs in Chicago. So you don't like the gangs in Chicago and you don't like Barack and Michelle? Listen, let it make some sense. Make it make some sense. If I don't give a damn who his mommy is and what his daddy is. If they fell in love and they got married and have children, they got my blessing. The whole tether thing was not meant to be misused like that. Dude ain't no damn tether. Y'all out here, any black person from somewhere calling them a tether. That ain't what that was. And now you using it, making FBA look stupid. I don't appreciate it because I'm FBA. That's not a tether just because they from somewhere else. And that's not our enemy just because they from somewhere else. And damn sure somebody that was raised in Hawaii and came to Chicago and got married and been here ain't no tether. That's a Chi-Town homeboy right now. Like it'll be smoke over dude. Like I'm telling you straight up. Like watch what you say about dude. I'm telling you. I'm telling everybody. Watch what you say about dude. He up under our protection here in Chicago. That's our homeboy. You can't un-homeboy him. And if you in Chicago, don't let this internet trick you off your square out here flapping your lips. You know what it is here. Leave dude alone. That man been helping black people here ever since he came here. And some of these blacks is on the internet talking about him. He done did more for black people than you. Boy, I don't want to have to start calling names. He done did more than all the people on the internet talk about. He done did way more than you could ever do in your fucking life. People got Medicaid and all kind of stuff because of him. You know, some of this stuff is going too far. I ain't lying. You're going too far with it. You know what I'm saying? I had some people come over here trying to get mad at me because I'm defending my own girl. And one, like, man, let me tell you something. If it's between Michelle and y'all can go kiss my ass. I don't care nothing about no bootleg niggas on this internet. Half of y'all ain't gonna do nothing anyway. Half of y'all just on the FBA bandwagon. I'm foundational Black American, but come on, let's keep it real. A lot of these people all in foundational Black American is riding the coattail. They just riding the wave. Okay? What, we lying now? We being fake? They ain't standing on shit. They just want to be seen. Okay? Yeah, I said it. Now you super FBA. Every time I see you, it's FBA, 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 but you ain't never saying nothing about reparations. Man, we want reparations. We don't want no damn FBA. We foundational Black American is lineage. What the point of your lineage if you ain't trying to get no reparations? You just lineage just for lineage? On some bozo shit? Then kick reparations to the curb to beef with black immigrants? Come on, man, we ain't going like that. I know Big Pharaoh not going like that. Boy, that ain't what we doing. Where the bread at? Where the money? Later for the clown stuff, all right? Mistreating the youth, teaching the youth the wrong information. Man, I'm not with that. Our youth gonna be dumb as hell. Our youth gonna be dumb. And we ain't gonna accomplish nothing right now. I'm gonna tell you right now, how you gonna get reparations? Who gonna run for office for us next time? Yeah, man, you don't hear none of that. You gonna sit on your ass, wait till it's time for election, talk about you choose the couch. You gonna choose the couch. 4 more years go, choose the couch. 4 more years go, choose the couch. That's what's going on. Choose the couch, choose the couch, choose the couch, choose the couch. And don't accomplish nothing. You don't hear no talk about reparations. You don't see no plans for reparations. You don't see no plans for who we gonna put in office. Nothing. You don't see none of that. You don't see none of that. You don't see none of that. You know what I'm saying? Much respect, Drew. It's really. Hey, listen, man. Y'all better get yourself focused. You know what I'm saying? Y'all better get focused. Find something to do. Because the way we going right now, we off the chain. And I don't know why we think we helping the youth by disrespecting the Obama family. I don't show me the benefits of that to young people. We supposed to use them for role models. Here you have white presidents all the time. You get a black president and a black first lady, and instead of you honor that in front of the youth, you start trashing your own in front of these white people and these Mexican people and all that. Then you want to talk about tethers. You want to talk about they don't respect you. Who gonna respect you when you get a black first lady and a black president and you don't honor them? Now we get role models to try to change our community, and then we get bums on the internet downgrade the role models. Who you want your son to be like? You want your son to be like Jam. You want your son to be like Keefe D. You don't want your son to be like Barack. It's F Barack, but it's F you though. That's what it is. Now, until one of you busters go out in the neighborhood and build something in the neighborhood, shut your ass up. Because they doing things in the neighborhood. They doing things in the community. For real. Go to the Presidential Center and see. Right in the heart of Chicago. You see anybody say congratulations for that? That's good job. It's right in the hood. Bring up the property value in the black community. You see anybody say that? About the Obama Presidential Center? You see anybody congratulate that or say anything positive? Why would I disrespect these people in front of my children and tell my children go get some good grades? This is what's going on in the black neighborhood. Contradictory. We don't hold our successful people up. White people hold theirs up. Then you get mad because white people hold their people up. But you don't hold yours up. You know how negative you got to be to get the first black president and first lady, and you like F them, forget them, the hell with them. The only black ones have been in the White House. The only black ones. and you ain't got nothing to say about nobody else being in there, you a disgrace. Okay? And your grandmother and your ancestors, they would roll over in their grave if they knew that somebody raised you to hate other brown people like that in a racist society. You a disgrace to your race. Facts. They're great husband and wife and father. Look at the black community. Look at all this dysfunction we got. Look how many of our kids ain't got no goddamn daddy. His kids got a daddy. His kids are successful. Oh, you can't point that out. He's successful. He doing good. He became president. His wife became first lady. That's very successful. Yeah, Chicago did it big. Put somebody all the way from the neighborhood of Chicago, all the way from politics in Chicago, all the way to the top. Y'all doing this in front of these other people, in front of these people from India and China and shit. They watch you disrespect some real popular black people. See, when my mother and them, when we came up, you don't never do that in front of no other races. Man, you ain't gonna never see me get on here and just be disrespecting famous black people like that. That's why a lot of subjects I don't talk about. Because when a famous black person do something, I don't be jumping on it because I don't want to add to degrade my own race like that. So I try to let it get out the news. That's why I don't be getting a lot of views, because I don't be jumping on every time a black person do something wrong. I don't jump on it. I don't jump on it because it make us look bad. It make us look bad. That's what it do. No, we didn't do that. You don't go out there and disrespect your own in front of other races and shit. You don't do that. That's a no-no. You're not going to see me get out of here trashing somebody. Now, if they do something on the news, I can talk about it in a way where I'm not trashing them, cool, but I'm not trashing Deion Sanders. I'm not trashing Steve Harvey. I'm not trashing none of the black women and none of that. I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that. I'd rather talk about some other subjects. You know, a lot of us, man, we might come up in the street or print whatever, but we trying to send our kids to school to be dentists, nurses, doctors, to be like these people. That's what we send our kids to school for. We send our kids to school, to colleges, to be like them. Facts. To be successful, to have a happy marriage, to raise their children. Y'all don't see all of a sudden these white people want to say they gay and all that, disrespect your people. Michelle is a man. And then y'all go and y'all let these people do that and y'all add to it. Y'all ain't see, there go the baby right there. They wasn't even doing sex changes. But y'all let these Europeans go out there and call all type of stuff because you ain't got no respect for them. Then you want to turn around, act like you all pro-black, all this, you this and you that. and you get in front of these people disrespecting y'all. See, that was a no-no when I was coming up. This new generation, and then you're on the internet doing it. It's confusing. We want our children to be successful. We the only ones tear down our own successful people in front of the whole world. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Stop tearing down successful black people. Because when our kids is intelligent and educated and go to school, guess what? These black dudes be the one trying to bully them. You understand? I lived in O Block. My kids went to school right there. My kids all doing well. When I used to walk my kids to school and pick my kids up from school, my kids were smart, educated, and polite.